Let's talk a little bit about the Republican Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson. I'm going to play something for you. I'm going to approach it with an open mind. It seems as though there is some mental illness here, but I want you to tell me, are the sort of beliefs that Mike Johnson professes in what I'm going to play for you, are they a form of mental illness, or do we give it an exemption because they are so-called religious views? Here is a clip where Mike Johnson is speaking to Christian nationalists. Christian nationalists, of course, believe and desire that their religion, Christianity, governs civil law. In other words, that the country and our government overtly and officially be a Christian country where Christian religious doctrine governs what is law and how government operates. They're extremely dangerous people. Everything they want happens to also be unconstitutional. In this clip, you will hear MAGA Mike Johnson say that before he became Speaker of the House, God spoke to him and told him he is going to be a Moses-like figure who will lead the country through a Red Sea moment. I suggest to you that were these claims made in any context other than a religious one, we would say these are mental illness delusions. This could be paranoid schizophrenia. This could be, right? We would say psychiatry must deal with this. Are there medications? But when you say it in the religious context, there's an exception, I guess, where people say, no, this isn't mental illness. Listen to it. Tell me what you think.
The Lord told me very clearly to prepare and be ready. Be ready for what? Okay, I don't know. We're coming to a Red Sea moment. What does that mean, Lord? And then when the speaker's race happened and Kevin McCarthy, who's a dear friend of mine, was deposed, vacated from the chair, oh, wow, well, this is what the Lord may have been preparing us for. And so I started praying more about that. And then the Lord began to wake me up through this 3-week process we're in the middle of the night and to speak to me and to write things down, plans and procedures and ideas on how we could pull the conference together. Now, at the time, I assumed the Lord is going to choose a new Moses. And, thank you, the Lord, you're going to allow me to be Aaron to Moses. And so I worked to get Steve Scalise elected speaker. That didn't happen. And then Jim Jordan, who's like another big brother of mine. No, that didn't happen. And then Tom Emmer. And, ultimately 13 people ran for the post. And the Lord kept telling me to wait. So I waited. And then at the end, when it came to the end, the Lord said, now, step forward. Me? I'm supposed to be Aaron. No, the Lord said, step forward.
Right. So listen, there's a lot going on here, okay? And I am not pretending to diagnose this guy with anything. But what he's describing sounds like a mental health emergency. It sounds like acute psychosis, paranoid delusions, schizophrenia, except when you say that it's the Lord coming to you in the middle of the night and saying these things, society includes exceptions. And this is an issue that the world of mental health has dealt with for a long time. I mean, listen to what the guy's saying. One of the hallmarks of delusional or paranoid thinking is called ideas of reference. And ideas of reference is you start to take innocuous or everyday occurrences or things others say and believe that they have a really specific and directed meaning to you. I've spoken before about a couple of times we've received really sad messages from people in the audience who say, David, I'm picking up on the messages that you're sending to me by blinking your eyes in Morse code. And it's a sad thing. I don't know how multiple people stumbled across this, but there's been a few people, three or four in the time I've been doing the show, where people write in and they believe that while I might be talking to you about Mike Johnson, the pattern of my eyes blinking is Morse code, and I am sending a specific message to an individual in the audience. That's an example of an idea of reference, that there's all these things you're picking up on and they relate to you. And this is a characteristic of paranoid thinking. It can be a symptom of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, severe depression. Mike Johnson gets an exception because he says, well, it's religious. Main character syndrome is another one. This is more colloquial. It's less clinically defined, but this is the idea that individuals see themselves as a central figure in all of life's events. They are the protagonist in some sense. And it can be a sort of grandiose delusions, egocentric, egotistical type behavior. And again, the idea that as he was one of however many possible speakers in the middle of the night, God woke him up and said, you're going to be a Moses-like figure. There's going to be a Red Sea moment, etc. These are distortions of reality. These are distortions of self-perception with different clinical significance and different manifestation. Is this mental illness? I mean, I'll just say it that way. There are, to be thorough, right? There are views from the mental health world that the reason we don't consider these mental illness when they are religiously based is that they don't always negatively affect one's experience. If you believe that the CIA is after you and you're screaming about it on the subway platform at Union Station as you wait for the train, it is having an acute negative effect on your day-to-day. And one of the arguments that's made in defense of these types of beliefs not being mental illness is that they're not acutely negatively affecting you day to day. But the guy thinks he's Moses, and I would say that that's negative. So let me know what you think. If you're familiar with me and my show, you know that I don't promote crazy supplements, drinkable silver, wacky stuff that right-wing shows do. I don't offer miracle cures or anything like that. I promote products that are backed by science and that make sense at the end of the day. That's what our sponsor AG1 is. It's really simple. Instead of taking dozens of different vitamins, potentially spending hundreds of dollars on them, what I do is before my morning cappuccino, I have a scoop of AG1 in water. Simple. I get the entire day's worth of vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics. It's in a form that you can absorb and utilize. It tastes good. You can put it in a drink. You can put it in a shake. Whatever works for you. Unlike routines that involve all sorts of pills and gummies and the inconvenience and the difficulty of maintaining it, AG1 is just foundational nutrition made easy and affordable. I've even gotten some friends and family hooked on AG1 because it's just simple. It's simple and more cost effective. Go to drinkag1.com/Pacman. You'll get 5 free travel packs of AG1 and a year's supply of vitamin D for free. The link is down below.